little closer. He's a vegetarian. He does not bite. Because when we can come close in Sangha, then we create this energy of listening. I'm going to ask you to put away your phones, or at least put them on silent. I know sometimes you like to take notes on your phone, which is a dangerous thing, because then you can easily get distracted to other things on the phone. On Sunday, we had a beautiful class in here by a sannyasi, and there was somebody over at this side. He's not here now, so I'm going to call him out. He was on his computer during the class. And because I can't walk very fast these days, I didn't go over to him right away, but eventually I couldn't take it anymore. And I went and sat beside him, and I asked him what he was doing. He was on his computer while this visiting Swami was teaching to this big room of devotees. So I said, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm passively listening while I'm working on an app." So you can guess what I said. You know, app outside, active listen in here, please. And of course he closed his computer. But this is the thing, you don't get anything if you're not really leaning in and saying, okay, I have the next 45 minutes, 1 hour. I made a journey to be here. I need to get myself. I need to lean in and listen, okay? Because that's how change happens, and that's how learning takes place. And learning is really all about you walking away from here feeling, oh yeah, now I can work with Krishna, or work with my life, or work with so many things a little bit better. When we started advertising Braj Bihari, Prabhu, so many people thought it was my husband, who's also called Braj Bihari, although they have a different first letter of their name. One is Braj Bihari with V's, and one is Braj Bihari with B's, or one B and one V, or something like that. Anyway, they do know each other. So even my husband was like, "Wait a minute, are you advertising me? I'm in India right now." So I was just so happy to have Braj Bihari here. He has, this says Venugopalacharya. Is that your name? Ooh. Yes. He's an Acharya on top of being a Braj Bihari Das. So Are You Connected is the name of his book. You can check it out with Samradhani afterwards. 25 Keys to Live, Grow, and Succeed with Self and Others. And of course, it's all based on the principles of bhakti. Okay, so let me just tell you a little bit about him. This wonderful Braj Bihari Das. He has been, for 25 years, a monk at the ISKCON Chowpatty Temple in Mumbai, and he blends deep spiritual wisdom with real-life perspectives. He did, before he became a monk, worked in the corporate world with KPMG, some of you know that, and ICICI Bank, which helps him relate naturally to students, professionals, and seekers. He's known, very much known, and the reason we have him here was because he was with TSI, right, Samradhani? Yeah, he was like the favorite speaker of the Sangha initiative, which is, and he's coming again this year, which is for youth the ages of 18 to 30 plus. Speaks on mental well-being, purpose, and spiritual growth. He has another book. Do you only have one book tonight? This other book, which I was interested, called Breaking Free from Overthinking. That's great. I just heard a quote today that said, so many people act without thinking, and others think but never act. So he is probably going to share some of that with you here tonight. So we are delighted to have you. Please give Braj Bihari Das, Braj Bihari Das, a warm welcome.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Anandavaneshwari Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for coming. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Namaom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yonta pravesha mama vachamimam prasuptan sanjivayata kila shakti dhara svadhamna anyamscha hasta charana shravanat pagadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam katanchana smrite yasmin duskaram sukaram bhavet vismrite vipareetam syat Sri Chaitanya namamitam. Hare Krishna. I have been given a topic called the what and why of sadhana, the spiritual practice. So I will share some thoughts and then maybe you can give your reflections or comments. The Bhagavad Gita says spiritual practice is performed joyfully. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyaksha-vagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. Susukham, this has to be performed joyfully. Now, when we do a reality check, many devotees confess that a spiritual practice is not joyful. How many of you find it ecstatic every day, like you're getting up, excited to chant your japa and read Prabhupada books and you're like, wow. And how many of you find it a struggle? If you're feeling shy, you can close your eyes and raise your hand. Yes, we find it austere. We find it difficult. So today I'm going to discuss with you a few principles which can make it a joyful practice. And this is very much doable and you will immediately see the difference. This is time-tested techniques or hacks. This really works. So for that, we first need to understand what is a spiritual practice. See what we are chanting. Why are we chanting Hare Krishna every day in the morning? Why do we chant? We want to develop love for Krishna. But those are pure devotees, why do you think they chant Hare Krishna? Yes, because they're in love with Krishna, so they're chanting Hare Krishna. You see the difference? We chant Hare Krishna because we want to develop love for Krishna. But pure devotees chant Hare Krishna because they already love Krishna and they want to please Krishna by chanting. It's a very big difference. So I am proposing, let us do what they are doing, the pure devotees. Like it's called reverse engineering. Like when you're in anxiety, your breath is fast and shallow. You noticed it when you are in stress? And when you're relaxed, your breath is slow, deep, relaxed. So if you are in stress, your breath is fast. So what we suggest is, okay, you want to be peaceful, then work on your breath. Start practicing slow breathing so that you become peaceful. Similarly, We are chanting, hearing, studying, and we are finding it a drag. But we see pure devotees, they're enjoying chanting, hearing. So, what are they doing? How are they doing it different? Let us learn that and do the same thing. So, we may also find chanting joyful. So, the first and most important thing, this is the most important paradigm shift that I'm proposing today. We are presently chanting because we want to earn love of Krishna. But pure devotees don't chant because they want to earn love of Krishna. They already love Krishna. So what we can do now differently is, let us chant not to earn Krishna's love, but in a space of recognizing Krishna's love. There is a difference between earning love and recognizing Krishna's love. So what does this mean? This means Krishna loves you. Krishna loves me unconditionally. You don't have to do anything to earn Krishna's love. I know this can get controversial, but let's begin with this. Krishna loves me. I am lovable. Can we accept this fact? Or is this too difficult? Are we lovable as a spirit soul? Are we dear to Krishna? If you can't accept it, you'll keep trying to earn Krishna's love eternally and always feel inadequate. So I am proposing, let us begin by recognizing that Krishna loves me. Then why do I need to chant? Well, Krishna loves me, I don't need to chant. No. Once we know Krishna loves me, then I chant not because I want to earn Krishna's love, I chant because I want to reciprocate with Krishna's love. There is a big difference between effort-based bhakti and reciprocation-based bhakti. Do you get this? So right now for most of us, chanting, studying books is all effort-based bhakti. Reciprocation-based bhakti means, well, Krishna, I know you love me. I recognize your love. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to chant regardless of how I feel because I want to reciprocate with you. Then you see an amazing difference. I'll tell you, this happens to me all the time, especially when I'm traveling. Like 3 months in a year I travel. Rest of the time, 9 months, I'm in Chowpatty Temple, Mumbai, where I'm chanting japa with devotees. It's very easy. But when I'm traveling, I'm alone. And without association, it's very difficult. I have to put in a lot of effort to create that same energy. But when I work on this paradigm, that I don't have to put in effort. Krishna loves me. I'm going to chant because I want to reciprocate with Krishna's love. Those days, chanting is very easy. It's joyful. Like yesterday when I was chanting, I was feeling sleepy. I was dozing off. And my body was paining. I was like, I just didn't want to chant. And I remember, because I'm trying to work on this paradigm, I could offer a prayer. Krishna, I don't want to chant. I want to keep my bead bag away. But I'm going to chant because I know you love me. And I want to reciprocate with you. It's not about me anymore. And then we start enjoying the process. We start learning how to embrace the pain of boredom. We are happy the way we are. So effort-based bhakti is not sustainable. But reciprocation is what will give us taste, a rasa. So this is the most important thing I wanted to share. Because Srila Prabhupada says in many places, we don't have to do anything to earn Krishna's love. He says, Krishna consciousness is not foreign. Have you read this? He says it many places. It's natural to the soul. And he gives the many examples he gives. In Krishna consciousness, the matchless gift, he gives the example of water that falls from the sky. It's pure. But when it falls on the ground, it gets muddy. And then we have to do the filtration to remove all the mud. And then the original water is present before us. Similarly, we are pure. But right now we are contaminated because of our material consciousness. So we don't have to add anything new. We just have to remove the layers of contamination. Another example Srila Prabhupada gives is of an iron filing that gets attracted to the magnet. But we are not getting attracted to the magnet of Krishna because this iron piece is rusted. So Krishna consciousness is to remove the rust. So nothing new is being added. Sri Rupa Goswami gives the example of a child learning to walk. Walking is natural to the child, but this learning, this effort is just an initial struggle. But once the child learns to walk, walking is very natural for the child. So the whole idea is Krishna consciousness is not foreign to us, it's natural. And natural means we have to recognize, not try to earn it. Earning means it's something foreign. Just try this technique and see tomorrow morning your japa will be a wonderful experience. You know, we often give the example of, have you heard this example? Damodar Leela, Krishna is being born by Mother Yashoda, and the more she was tying the ropes are always falling 2 fingers short. And she got all the ropes from Vrindavan, but 2 fingers short. And the example given is, one finger represents our effort, and the other finger represents Krishna's mercy. So we generally imagine that we are putting in a lot of effort. Oh, I'm putting a lot of effort. But Krishna's mercy will come one day. I'm proposing, why not sometimes at least think like this, that Krishna's mercy is already there. I just have to put my endeavor, I have to chant for Krishna's pleasure. Krishna is ready to be bound by Mother Yashoda. Imagine a scenario where Krishna is saying, yeah, I'm ready to be bound, I'm there. And we are running around here and there, not willing to acknowledge that Krishna is there. Krishna is waiting. So now, how do we work on this principle? How can I recognize Krishna's love? Recognizing seems to be abstract. Effort seems to be tangible, doable. It's not abstract. Effort is, we know what to do. I get up in the morning, I do this. Effort is measurable. Recognizing Krishna's love? How do I recognize the Lord's love? Well, to recognize Krishna's love, you need to practice gratitude. Gratitude is not a feeling, gratitude is a practice. Gratitude is not abstract, gratitude is a choice. We can actually practice gratitude. Thank you, Krishna, for. And we mention something, and then answer, why am I grateful for that? So once you keep thanking Krishna every day, a time will come when you would say, Krishna, you've done so much for me, what can I do for you? That is reciprocation. If you practice gratitude every day, then chanting would be an act of reciprocation. Like if somebody has helped you a lot and you thank that person, thank you my dear friend, you helped me come to America, you helped me get a green card, you helped me get a job, you helped me get a spouse, you have done so much for me. And then naturally you would say, what can I do for you? So if we thank Krishna every day for the gifts he is giving us, then it's natural that we would spontaneously want to please Krishna. Somebody asked me once, if we practice gratitude, will we develop love for Krishna? I said, I don't know. But one thing is for sure, if we practice gratitude every day, we may or may not develop love of Krishna immediately, but we will definitely realize that Krishna loves us. And once we realize Krishna loves us, we recognize Krishna's love for us, then chanting becomes very easy. So the whole trick, pure devotees are enjoying their chanting because they are in Krishna's love. So at our level, we simply need to recognize, and recognizing Krishna's love means practicing gratitude, and second is working on our deep why. Why am I doing Krishna consciousness? Why am I here? Once we know our deep why and we keep coming back to it, we are being sincere. I have seen another problem. Many times devotees emphasize a lot on purity. Oh, if you are pure, then Krishna accepts us. No. We could be where we are in our fallen condition, raw self. Just offer it to Krishna. Krishna, I am yours. I want to serve you. We don't have to become pure for Krishna to accept us. I'll give you two choices. Tell me which one is more attractive for you. One is, keep chanting. One day you'll become pure. I don't know when, but you will. Keep chanting. So that's one proposal I give you. The second one, Prabhu, you will never become a pure devotee. But don't worry. you can feel Krishna's love today. You can feel loved by Krishna today. What's more attractive? Today, now, we can feel loved by Krishna if we simply offer ourselves to Krishna. Krishna is known as Bhakta Vatsala. When the calf is born, the cow doesn't chastise the calf. Clean up first and then come to me. The cow licks up all the things on the calf. So we surrender to Krishna. Krishna is more than happy to embrace us, to accept us. That is sincerity, coming back to Krishna. See, the world recognizes purity. Purity is a sense of achievement. Oh, he's so pure. He's achieved so much. He's so pure. The world sees purity, but Krishna sees sincerity. We don't have to wait to become pure. We just have to be sincere. I just have to come back to Krishna. I have to recognize Krishna loves me. That's it. It's as simple. I was hearing Srila Prabhupada's lecture series, 1974, December 1st week in Vrindavan. Bombay, on Ajamil section. Amazing lecture series. He says, what is our goal? He says, devotee's goal is to capture Krishna, like Mother Yashoda. I was like, wow, no, I can't do this. He says, so our goal is simple. We have to capture Krishna like Mother Yashoda did. And as Prabhupada was speaking very animatedly, with great joy, I was like, oh no, when will I ever reach this stage? And as if anticipating my feeling of inadequacy, Srila Prabhupada then gives hope. So, if you can't capture Krishna, no problem. Always choose Krishna. So this is very interesting. We are always given choice, Maya, Krishna. We generally choose what? Maya. Prabhupada says, always choose Krishna. If you can't capture Krishna, choose, that's the second option. First is, ideal is Mother Yashoda. What does Mother Yashoda do? Capture Krishna. Second, you can't capture Krishna, then choose Krishna. Like Haridas Thakur, he had Maya and Krishna. What did he choose? Krishna. I know what some of you are thinking. I can't even choose Krishna. Right? I can't even choose Krishna. So then Prabhupada gives the third option. He says, you can't even choose Krishna, no problem. Come back to Krishna. You've chosen Maya, now you are facing the consequences. See, Maya doesn't 24 hours torture you. After torturing you, she waits and watches you lament, cry. She enjoys that. So at that moment, we can come back to Krishna. Krishna, I'm suffering the consequences of my action. Krishna, I love you. I'm sorry, Krishna. Coming back is more important. That's sincerity. Making the right choice is purity. I may not be pure as yet, but I can always be sincere. There's nothing stopping me from being sincere. So if we recognize Krishna's love, our life will dramatically change. The spiritual landscape will alter completely. So therefore, let us practice gratitude, recognize Krishna's love, and work on our sincerity. I used to keep a sadhana record every day, track my japa, what time I completed my rounds and hearing, so many things I did for Krishna today. And I stopped that sadhana tracking because I realized I'm trying to work on the principle of recognizing Krishna's love rather than trying to earn it. So now instead of keeping track of my sadhana, I'm keeping a track of Krishna's gifts, what Krishna is doing. You track Krishna's sadhana card. Krishna is doing so much for us. Every day he's giving us so many gifts. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. Krishna loves me. So if Krishna loves me, then I want to also serve Krishna. When I was a young boy, there was a very famous Bollywood song which went something like this. Nana karte pyar tumi se kar baithe. Karnata inkar. Magar ikrar tumi se kar baithe. For this heroine is singing, I wanted to say no, 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 no to you. But I landed up saying yes. So what happens when we practice gratitude, even if we don't have love for Krishna, but because we are recognizing Krishna's gifts to us, we'll eventually realize Krishna loves me so much. And then it's a matter of time before we also develop emotions for Krishna. When someone loves you so much and you recognize it, you will also love that person. So let us start tracking Krishna's gifts and recognize Krishna's love, then devotional service becomes a joyful process. And then it won't be a drag anymore. Japa will be, even when japa is sometimes very boring. I remember sometimes when japa is very painful, I offer this prayer: Krishna, I don't want to chant today, but now is my chance to prove to you that I am sincere. I don't want to chant, but I will chant to show you that I love you. And I see my consciousness changes immediately. I'm sure all of us at some point of time have tried something like this. When we go against resistance with an intention to please Krishna, bhakti becomes joyful. So these are some of my thoughts. I wanted to share that sadhana may be a drag, but Bhagavad Gita assures us it is a joyful process, and to make it joyful, we can change the paradigm. Instead of trying to earn Krishna's love, let us work on recognizing Krishna's love. Instead of effort-based bhakti, let us practice reciprocation-based bhakti. And to recognize Krishna's love, we have to work on sincerity. Sincerity means to recognize our deep why am I in Krishna consciousness, and keep coming back to that why. And then we discussed how Prabhupada says in that lecture series that if you can't capture Krishna, choose Krishna. If you can't choose Krishna, come back to Krishna. And the more we come back, the more we'll be able to choose Krishna eventually. I know, I remember getting a question, what if I can't even come back to Krishna? And Srila Prabhupada scoffs at that proposal, as if knowing our stupid rebellion. He says, oh, coming back to Krishna is very easy, like our Indian women. No, he gives an example. Please know the context. This is Prabhupada is 1896 born India, so it's a very culturally that example. It's in that context. He says, so our Indian women are very interesting example for this. They are busy whole day. They are managing the house, they are managing children, they are working, they are so busy. But do you notice one thing? Their hair is always in proper order. Then Prabhupada says, so these women are so busy, but they ensure that the bunch of hair is in proper order. Similarly, a devotee is like these Indian women. He is busy doing so many things, he has no time, but he will ensure that his remembrance of Krishna, which is like the bunch of hair, is intact. He somehow ensures that, he or she ensures that I am remembering Krishna. He takes a break. Somehow connect with Krishna. Krishna, thank you for this moment. Krishna, thank you for this. Krishna, I am yours. Krishna, please accept me. Somehow we recognize Krishna, bhakti becomes a joyful process because our mind has touched Krishna. Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavastam gatopi va yas maret pundarikaksham sabhaya bhayantara shuchi. The moment we remember Krishna, we touch Krishna with our mind, bhakti becomes joyful. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Any comments, reflections, suggestions? Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. It will come. Keep trying. Keep trying. We're so glad that they're able to see you physically today, and so many wonderful sessions. We listened virtually, but you made our day today. Thanks for coming in here. I think last year we didn't come, probably Is it possible to get up a little early in the morning? Not possible. So instead of putting an alarm for waking up in the morning, try to put an alarm for sleeping. Like instead of putting an alarm for 4 a.m., put an alarm for 10 p.m. That I have to sleep before, as soon as the alarm goes off, I have to be hitting the bed. Many of us don't put an alarm for sleeping, we put an alarm for waking up. If you do that, you'll save a lot of time. You can try that. This is very practical. Then because morning japa will be smooth, 2 rounds will be easy. Just like morning, there's no traffic. But evening time, there's a lot of traffic. Similarly, the mind is fresh in the morning. You can chant easily, 2 rounds. You can try this and see. And also, regarding determination, I have seen that it comes in small packages. You can't really, if you're struggling to chant in the evening, you're feeling sleepy, then morning time is the best time. That is definitely. But because of some unavoidable reasons, you can't get up in the morning, then you have no choice but to chant in the evening. Then you need to understand the principle that determination means giving the best according to today. See, unfortunately, whenever we are giving our best, we compare our best with the past or some future, some imagined, like, oh, when I joined the ashram, I was 20, Brahmacharya ashram, I was 25. I was young, I could run the 5 floors, I could do so much service. Now I'm 54. And I get tired after the morning program. Half of the morning program, I'm exhausted. So if I keep comparing my present determination and chanting with my past, then I'll get depressed. So I tell Krishna that, Krishna, this is the best I'm offering today. This is the best of me today, 2025, 2026. This is the best I have to offer today. So you think of your best, but not imagining past or some other time. Today's best is this. Bhishma was lying on a bed of arrows, but still he could worship Krishna. First canto, 9th chapter of Bhagavatam. So similarly, you can offer your best today. But still, I would suggest get up in the morning. If you can't get up in the morning, put an alarm for not waking up, or for sleeping. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any questions? Yeah, I can see one hand here. Of course, thinking is important. See, thinking like this. What is prayer? We have to pray while chanting. Prayer means, in simple words, consciously choosing your thoughts. I'll repeat. Consciously choose your thoughts. That's a prayer. Which means, like for example, you say, I am going to temple. This is spoken words. But sometimes before speaking it out, you may have got this as a thought. I am going to temple. You may not have spoken it. It's in thought form. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Bhagwan ki Jai, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So regarding thinking, Prabhu, consciously choosing thoughts is important. So externally I may be chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But Srila Prabhupada said, we should meditate on the meaning of the chanting, which is, Krishna, please engage me. Radharani, please engage me in your service. So you could consciously choose a thought, Krishna, my mind is wandering. Please help me, Krishna. I carry a small notebook with me during chanting, which contains the thoughts that I want to choose. So, I just, sometimes when my mind is distracted, I read it. I'm able to again consciously choose a thought. For many of us, thoughts choose us, isn't it? Have you experienced this? We don't choose thoughts, but thoughts choose us. So if you pause and consciously choose your thoughts, you're praying to Krishna. And unfortunately, all of us pray in thought form. We don't pray in speech. Imagine 40 of us come in front of Radha Madan Mohan and we start praying loudly. Everybody's praying loudly. We'll get disturbed, we'll get distracted, we'll get confused. We'll hear each other's prayers. So we all pray in the mind. But what happens? It goes on a... Yeah, recently I was praying in our temple. Krishna, please help Manish and Swati. Save their marriage. They're going through a divorce. I intended to pray like this in my thought form. But I began well. Krishna, please help. But then the mind took over. See, Radha Madan Mohan, Krishna is on your right side. You want to connect to Krishna. But on your left is a giant demon called the mind. He's constantly ranting. And we have turned our heads towards the mind and we are saluting him and we are saying, yes, boss, yes, boss. We have to turn to Krishna. So I turned to Krishna. Krishna, please help Manish and Swati. Please help them in their marriage. But the mind took over. The thoughts came like a tsunami. Oh, it's Swati's fault. That girl is stupid. I'm like, externally I'm standing like this. I'm supposed to be praying to Krishna, but the mind, oh, that lady's fault. She's doing the same mistakes, that girl in Birmingham, remember? She's also doing the same mistakes in her marriage. In both the cases, it's the lady's fault. Oh, that lady in Birmingham, do you realize she looks exactly like your sister-in-law, Bobby? Oh, your Bobby died in that motorbike accident. She was driving the scooter and her son was behind and she was wearing a helmet and her son was not wearing the helmet. But she died on the spot. These bus drivers are crazy. They come and bang the scooter. They should have a law against it. And what am I doing? I'm standing here for what? Pray for what? To save somebody's marriage. And what is my mind? Where is it going? The bus. Remember that bus that hit that auto rickshaw outside the High Court? That was a gory accident. Oh, talking about High Court, remember that one day you saw a man running with the dragger soaked in blood outside the High Court? That was a gruesome murder. It was traumatic, remember? Oh, and that was exactly like the scene from that famous movie you saw in Metro Theatre at Opera House. Wow, the hero was running. Oh, that movie you saw with Siddharth, Vikas, Ramesh and Paresh. Siddharth is in London, Paresh is in Canada, Vikas is in Dubai. Oh, that fellow is in London. London, oh, he's in Birmingham. Oh, Birmingham. That lady is going through divorce. Oh, Manish and Swati are going through divorce. Krishna, please help Swati and Manish. Save their marriage. So I roamed around. My mind went all around the world and came. Is it only me or does it happen to you also, something like this? It happens all the time. So I'm praying like this for 15 minutes. In those 15 minutes, maybe 25 seconds, I must have actually prayed. Actually consciously chosen my thought. Rest of the time, the thoughts chose me. And after 15 minutes of standing before the deities, then I come out and a young brahmachari tells me, Prabhuji, you pray so nicely to the Lord. I said, yeah. Yeah. I didn't have the heart to tell him what I was going through. See, the spoken words can be recorded through an audio device. Thoughts can also be recorded through paper and pen. So I write journals every morning. And Burijan Prabhu, he gave it a proper mandate, in all his workshops, he makes us write journals. So journals is a great way of choosing thoughts. And then just read them in front of Krishna. You're consciously choosing thoughts. That's a prayer. So you could try that. Is that okay? Does that answer your question? Yes. Thank you. Yes. Actually, I shared a little bit today in the class that when we don't feel inspired, when we go through boredom, that's the point where we are going to make tremendous advancement, because we're getting an opportunity to take birth. Labor pain, they say, mother goes through labor and the child is born. It's called labor pain, not labor pleasure. It's pain. And the child is born. So for bhakti to take birth, you have to go through some pain of boredom, disinterest. Our problem is we want to stimulate ourselves. We just want the phone, we want a dopamine rush. So that period when you're bored, when you're completely disinterested, if you can just hang on and offer this prayer which I said, Krishna, I just don't feel interested, but I want to prove my sincerity. If you can do that small shift at that period, if you can hold on, then you'll see a new self emerge. Because in English there is a saying, the eye of the storm there is peace. So in this chaotic stage when you're bored, unstimulated, restless, if you can still chant saying, Krishna, this is for you. Till now I was chanting because I wanted to be happy. I was enjoying it. Now it's not about my enjoyment, it's about you. See, we say this, have you heard this saying? Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Actually, that was a way to pull you in. You know what is the real mantra Prabhupada gave us? Chant Hare Krishna and be happy? No, chant Hare Krishna and make Krishna happy. Our chanting Hare Krishna is to make Krishna happy. So if we work on reciprocation, I am coming back to what I shared originally. Reciprocation or effort. Because it's effort based, you are struggling. Krishna, this is for you. I want to see, what? Bhakti can be two levels. There's romance and there is chastity. There's two different things. You want to enjoy the thrill of romance. What is more powerful, the thrill of romance or the joy of chastity? What is more powerful? Thrill of romance is like your July 4 fireworks, Diwali fireworks. It comes like a flash and it's gone. But there are these small lamps burning in ancient traditional temples. They're burning for centuries. Sometimes there is a storm, sometimes there is rain, but the lamp keeps burning. So our bhakti has to be like that lamp, that flame which is burning. Sometimes there will be boredom, sometimes there will be excitement, sometimes there will be happiness, sometimes there will be sadness. But my japa will go on, Hare Krishna. That's how we develop the joy of chastity. That's when we learn, that's how love deepens. So you will not feel good always. Japa is not about feeling good. Is that okay, bro?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So when chanting, do you think it's more important to chant with a positive thought that's dedicated to serving Krishna, or simply contemplating on the Mahamantra?
You can do both. Just like in a conversation, like when do we have a meaningful conversation? When you talk to a person and you also listen to a person. You can't say, I have an excellent relationship with my partner. I keep talking and she keeps listening. Ideally, you talk, she listens, and then when she talks, you listen. That's the way the world is, right? A conversation becomes complete or more meaningful when you talk and you listen. But just like in this world, we talk and we listen, in our relationship with Krishna also we talk and we listen. So talking is compared to choosing thoughts. When we choose our thoughts, we are conversing with Krishna. And then, just be present, mindful. Allow your senses to receive Krishna. When you are taking prasadam, be present. When you are smelling that incense, that scent offered to the Lord, receive it. Be present, be mindful. That mindful receiving of Krishna is compared to what? Listening. Just like in a conversation you speak and you listen. Similarly, in our relationship with Krishna, we choose thoughts And we also practice mindfulness. Because when we practice mindfulness, we listen. So when chanting, sometimes you can try this. Hare Krishna, you can choose a thought. Krishna, please help me, let me serve you. And then after some time, just listen to the holy name. Because when we are listening to the holy name, we are listening to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada says in one place, so chanting means three things. Listen, listen, listen. And Srila Prabhupada also said chanting means praying to Krishna. So do both. Sometimes offer your thoughts, sometimes listen. Through trial and error, you will learn how to balance. Of course, you should write it down. Then you'll be able to choose your thoughts better. Writing down helps us to choose our thoughts. Otherwise, the mind keeps going everywhere. Regarding your first question about writing a journal and you write all these targets and you can't achieve it and you get discouraged to write, well, I would suggest one thing you can try. I know many devotees feel inadequate. They feel I'm not doing enough. So I'm not saying be complacent and don't do anything. I'm just saying try this technique. Before sleeping at night, just look at the gains. What all good things you did today or what all you gained today. What good things happened to you or what good things you did today. Count your blessings. Focus on the gains. And then sleep. You'll sleep feeling fulfilled. Wake up in the morning, again look at the gains of the previous day. Oh, I did so many good things. I could show you my own, in the night I write down. Yesterday I had 20 gains. That's a big deal. 20 good things happened to me. 20 gains. Morning I look at it again, feeling good. Gains. So gain space. And then look at the gaps. Oh, these are the 3 gaps I want to fill today. I want to work on these 3 things or 4 things or 5 things. And then work on them. But then again, before sleeping, focus on the gains. Gains, gap, gains. Our problem is we focus on the gap. The problem of always looking at the gaps in your life? Even if you fill the gap, you will create another gap because you are conditioned to create gaps. You are conditioned to live in gaps. I spoke on gaps and gains, and one Grahastha Prabhu was in the class. He gave a perfect example for this. He said, Prabhu, I know what is gains and gaps consciousness because I wanted to surprise my daughters. So he has a 9-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old girl. So he said, I wanted to surprise them. So I went to the Govinda's restaurant in our temple and he brought 2 pizzas. He wanted to surprise his daughters. And so he says, when I went home, I said to my daughters, surprise, we have pizza party. And both of them were joyful. And when we started the pizza party, the older daughter said, Dad, I don't like the pizza with the thin crust. I like the thick one. And the younger daughter was very happy throughout. Then he said, a surprise pizza party is a gain or a gap? It's a gain. But because the older daughter was conditioned to be in the gap always, she couldn't recognize the gain when there was a gain. Our problem is many times, even though our life is filled with abundance and reasons to be happy and grateful, because we are conditioned to be in gap space, we only look at our gaps. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm not saying don't look at the gaps. I'm just saying begin with gains. Then you feel a sense of completeness. Yes, I am good, I'm worthy, I'm doing good, and then work on the gaps. If you're working for someone and that person keeps chastising you, Will you be motivated to work for him? Or if somebody acknowledges and appreciates what you are doing? So similarly, in our inner world, we need to first acknowledge what we are doing good. You wanted to say something? Add something to this? No? So yeah, so this is my humble suggestion. And then writing down those things would be, you'll be excited about it. But journaling is more than simply writing down what you have done. That's diary writing, what you're talking about, just keeping. Journaling is more expressive. Okay, thank you. Yes, Prabhu, you wanted to add something? I think it's time now. I don't know. It's 8. Is the last comment, Prabhu? Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I feel the joy emanating from this topic. This might be a basic question, but whenever I'm fairly new, and when I hear about japa, it's been described as taking a scrub brush to all that's troublesome to the heart, or something that we use to purify ourselves. And I enjoy hearing the paradigm shift of japa as something that's used for the pleasure of Krishna. But what does Krishna get out of japa, and why japa specifically? What is it about japa that is pleasing to Krishna?
It's our attempt to understand this is something like, the Satyanandan Maharaj tells the story of an old man who was very poor. He had never seen gold in his entire life. And he was dying. He came to the king and he said, "Oh, my dear king, I'm going to die any day. But I have a long cherished desire that before I die, I want to see gold. Can you please do me a favor? Can you show me your treasury?" So the king felt pity on the old man. He called for the minister and he told him, "Please take him and show him the treasury. Let him see our gold coins." So the old man trudged up. He went to the treasury, which was far distance away. And as they were walking, he was amazed by the shining chandeliers, the pillars, the lamps. He was like, wow. He had never seen something like that before. Finally, they went to the treasury and the minister opened the box and he saw all the gold coins. For a moment, he was like, wow, gold. And then he said, wait a minute. I thought I saw gold when I was walking in here. Those chandeliers, was that gold? Because it's the same. So the minister said, yes. And those pillars I saw, it was all gold carving? The minister said, yes. Oh, that was gold. I had seen gold. But now that I've recognized gold, I understand that was gold. Do you get this? So the scriptures give this story to explain that. Right now what we are chanting, Hare Krishna, for us, because it's a means. See, how much ever we may say that chanting is, we want to recognize Krishna's love, whatever you say, ultimately we are trying to get something out of chanting. It's a means to an end. For pure devotees, it's an end in itself. For us, it's like that man who has not seen gold. So we are chanting and we are thinking, I'm going to get something out of this one day. But pure devotees, when they are chanting, they are in ecstasy because for them that's Krishna. Exactly what it is, we need to be at that level. Spiritual cannot be at the end of the day explained with material intelligence and sound. There is limitations. Because if we could explain a spiritual concept perfectly with our material mind, intelligence, words, then that's not spiritual. So exactly what holy name does. What is holy name? We need to experience Krishna through chanting, which is what pure devotees experience. So that's how it is. For us, it's a means to an end. For pure devotees, it's an end. Right now, I ask this question. What do you think we'll get after chanting? If we chant every day, what is the reward of chanting? What will happen one day when we keep chanting? Yes. Yes. So right, right now, chanting is all about, I want to chant so that I can get love of Krishna. I want something from chanting. That's why we are chanting. It's a means. So the reward of chanting is what? If we keep chanting, what is the reward we'll get? Chanting. More chanting. And we can't fathom what it is. Like in the outside world, you do something now and then you don't do that later on. Like my cousin, she got into the premier management institute in India, IIM Ahmedabad. It's like the top institute. And after that 2 years of MBA, she says her first job was she had to go in the truck she got a job in Coca-Cola. And she had to go with the delivery boys and carry those big boxes of the cold drinks. And I was saying, this is what you are doing? She said, no, but this is just for the first few months. And then I'm going to be a manager. Then I'm going to be a president. And today she is heading one pharmaceutical company in UK. She's not doing what she did in the initial days. But in Krishna consciousness, we do the same thing. Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Swami Maharaj came to our temple. He's a young man in one sense, he's just early 40s, and he was giving Bhagavatam class, and we were all sitting and hearing attentively. And then I turn on my right side, I see my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Srila Radhana Swami Maharaj, who took sannyas even before he was born. And he is attentively hearing Keshav Maharaj's class, like any other student in the class. And I was like, wow, this is what Maharaj was doing as a young bhakta, new bhakta. This is what he is doing now, after 55 years of bhakti. This is what we do on the first day. This is what we do on the last day. You see what I'm saying? So to appreciate that, we need to experience the rasa in chanting. Okay, we'll stop here. We're past 8. Okay, Mataji, we'll stop here. Yeah. Okay, I can take one more comment. Yes. Somebody has to stop me. I mean, somebody has to take charge. Okay. Yes, please. I'm not tired. I'm happy to serve.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the helpful question. My question is actually, as currently in this world we are already surrounded with news, current situations, what is happening in our country. So due to that, while chanting also those things
Thoughts come.
automatically get into the mind, and I'm actually deviated from chanting. That's what keeps on happening also. So for that, Prabhu suggested to delete the apps so that I won't be able to look at news. Even though I did that, but then still those things are mostly popping up. For that,
I'll tell you what I do, because it's not simply you who can be a victim of that. So we have, like few of us brahmacharis, what we have done, on our electronic gadgets that we have, there is one ever accountability, some app, or I'm not good in technical part, so that has been installed on all the 3 gadgets I have. So there is 3 devotees who get an email every Saturday. They are my parent. So they get an email about all the activities I do on the internet, on all my gadgets. And one of them is my student, he and his wife. So now, I better behave properly, because they'll come to know. You see? So, and they prove to me periodically that they do see the report. And it's such an amazing app. I don't know what it is called. I mean, I have to pay a lot of money for it. Annual fees, I don't know, few $1,000s, but it is worth it. Because if I do anything wrong, like if I spend an inordinate amount of time on any news site or anything, they don't have to wait till Saturday to get an email. They get an immediate notification that your child is spending too much time on this news site or whatever. So something like that. So if you have 3 well-wishers whom you trust, who can help you, and you can be a parent to somebody else. So like that, we made a system. So ever since this internet thing came up, And we knew that it's dangerous, but we needed it for service also. So we created this system where we have 3 parents. All of us have 3 parents. So it works. So then you may sometimes slip, but then you have somebody you are accountable to, and that person will. And it's better to have someone who looks up to you, or because then I think fear of loss of reputation is the greatest motivation for many of us. We don't want to be in, we don't want to lose, we don't want to become the bad guy, So we don't want to fall from grace. So we become. So for many of us, morality is also lack of opportunity. So we better behave ourselves. So for internet, this is the best thing. If you are stuck because of these news, notifications, and you can't delete the apps because you again install it. Because you are conditioned. But if you have someone controlling you, someone your accountability and transparency. Kali Yuga means hypocrisy and quarrel. When we are alone, hypocrisy attacks us. When we are with other devotees, quarrel. So for quarrel we have Sankirtan, and for hypocrisy we have accountability. We need someone to protect us. We can't do it alone. Does that help? Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Okay. I'm trying to be one, but I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. So I grew up in a small temple town called Udupi, which is in South India. Yeah, my grandfather was a priest there, and my father was in Mumbai. He was in government service, IAS, so he was traveling a lot. And I had 2 younger brothers. So my mom kept me with her parents in Udupi, so that I grew up in a temple atmosphere, so that she could take care of the other 2 children. So my grandparents also wanted me. So my first 10 years was in the temple complex with my grandfather, who was a temple priest. And then my uncles were all very educated, and they were in different government posts. They saw me running around in the temple and they got concerned. They said, this boy is going to get spoiled. He's just going to eat prasadam in temple and just be a... So they wrote a letter to my father saying, come and take your son away from here, take him to Mumbai and educate him and give him good education and a degree. So my father came and he took me to Mumbai and I studied, and then at the age of 25 I came to ISKCON temple for the first time, and when I entered the temple I felt my childhood revisited because the same temple atmosphere, same. And then in a few months I joined. So what my uncles feared, that happened. So I came back to the temple. So because of growing up in that temple atmosphere, I knew about Krishna, Bhagavatam and all of that. But then I gave it up all because I came to Mumbai, I studied, I went to college, got a degree. But then when I came to temple, ISKCON temple, wow. And then Srila Prabhupada gave clarity, and the devotee association, Prabhupada's philosophy, Prabhupada's books, everything made sense. So I think it's because of Srila Prabhupada I could appreciate my childhood. I'm from the Madhva Sampradaya, that Madhvacharya is sitting like this saying we are, soul and God are different. So I remember as a young boy, we had Madhvacharya's photo in our altar at home. I never knew what his philosophy was. Only Prabhupada taught me that. My grandmother would tell me, as a young boy, I would be just all the time eating. I was hungry all the time. And my grandmother would tell me, see, look at Madhvacharya. He says we should eat only 2 times a day. So for many years, I thought Madhvacharya's philosophy is we should eat only 2 times. And then I come to ISKCON and I learn from Srila Prabhupada that Madhvacharya, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, and then how Achintya, Beda, Abeda, and it's like, wow, wow, wow. So I would have been a ritualistic Hindu from South India, Brahmin family, if I had not got Srila Prabhupada's mercy. And then I think that's how I became a devotee. Before, when I was in Udupi, growing up with my grandparents, my first 10 years, Hare Krishna Mahamantra was also one of the mantras we chanted every day. But we chanted it as opposite. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. We chanted Vishnu Sahasranam. We chanted many mantras, an hour of puja every day. all that. But then when I came to Mumbai, everything, I became a typical Mumbai wala, made in Mumbai product, Bollywood, sports, all of that. And then at the age of 25, when I came back to the temple for the first time, saw the paintings in the walls in the temple, I became emotional. It was as if I was dragged back to my childhood days of innocence and purity. And I was like, wow, wow, that's I have a lot of faith in this. When I see children being trained, like in Gurukuls or, in some places, I feel, wow, I feel they're so lucky, if they get the right kind of protection, they'll be like, when they're at the right age, they'll be attracted to Krishna, even if they get distracted in between. So first time I walked into the temple, I can't forget that day. I was like, as if it was coming home. And then I went home after that experience, and my favorite television serial was going on. Like I didn't watch it, I just went to my room. And I was just sitting like this, like as if something had struck me, I don't know what it was. And then I went to the temple again, then started chanting, and then in a few months I joined. So yeah, it was like that.
I know in temples, and especially in Chapati, that we all chant 16 rounds in one sitting.
We try to, yeah.
Try to do that. So for so many, that's difficult because they have to work. But how important is it to try to do that from time to time to actually
We may not be able to do it. Yeah, we may not be able to do it every day, but at least once in a while we could take an off and spend some time exclusively chanting with devotees whom we like. Like even we face a lot of stress. So that's why I went for Brijan Prabhu's Alone with Krishna retreat. From morning 5 a.m. till 9 p.m. we were all chanting, reading. So that was like a retreat and we got recharged. So time to time we need some association like that. And 16 rounds chanting. Initially it may be difficult, but once it becomes a habit, then we get shelter. And habits are the easiest to change. Desires are more difficult to change. We have to eventually change our desires. But if we can't change our habits first, it will be very difficult to change our desires. So we need to have some good habits. Even if we can't chant early in the morning, 16 rounds, my humble opinion, I could be wrong, I am happy to stand corrected. I've tried many things like journaling. I spend a lot of time in the morning journaling also. And sometimes I'm tossed, should I run for Mangalarati or should I write my journals? So I've realized that we need to connect with Krishna. We need to discover how we can connect with Krishna best. And we need to spend time in that space. For me, it's breathing, pranayam. I need to do some breathing to help me come to the space of connecting with Krishna. Then journaling, and then chanting. Or I call it as prayer, consciously choosing thoughts. So it's easy for me to remember, I say it's BJP. Breathing, journal, and prayer. BJP is the name of a famous political party in India. So for me, BJP is all about my connection with Krishna. For some, it is deity worship. I know one of my brahmachari friends, he can't chant his 16 rounds in one sitting, He finds it very difficult, Mataji. But he can stand 10 hours in the altar. He loves the deity worship. So he completes his 16 rounds somehow before night. But his rasa is deity worship. Somebody loves Bhagavatam, somebody loves... Somewhere we need to connect with Krishna. Ena kena prakarena manha Krishna niveshayet. But chanting is the best, but still, I don't want to push on chanting because I've seen devotees have different rasas. So.
It's important to find, all we have to do is make sure we can do it.
Yeah.
Along with everything else. But could you just speak a little bit about journaling? Because I know you could suggest certain things that you have found very helpful.
Oh yeah, I can share a lot on that, but I'll just share briefly. There's one type of journaling, I'm just suggesting this. Just try this tonight before you sleep and see the miracle, the magic that happens. You start writing a prayer, something like, Krishna, I love you, I want to serve you. Whatever is a spontaneous prayer. After a few seconds, you may feel dry. You may feel, oh no, it's not my prayer, it's not coming from the heart. Then stop. Stop that paragraph. Stop that prayer. What you've written, just stop it. And then start a second paragraph. Simply write what the mind is saying. Just write it down without judgment. This is called awareness journal. So like for example, I begin like this in the morning. Krishna, today I want to serve you. I want to chant your holy names. Please help me. And as I'm writing it, I feel it's not coming, it's not my voice. So I stop and then I start writing. Chanchal. Now I've given a name to my mind. I call my mind as Chanchal. Chanchal is a very sweet sounding feminine name. Since we are brahmacharis and we don't have a partner, so I've made my mind as my companion. So Chanchal is telling me to check my WhatsApp messages. I don't check. I just write down what the mind is saying. Chanchal says, go to the washroom. Chanchal is wondering what time am I going to start my japa. Chanchal is asking me to check my next destination. Is it Boston or is it New Jersey? Whatever the mind is saying, just write it down without judgment. Just like the video camera is observing without judgment. You just observe your inner world without judgment. Just write it down. At some point of time, the mind will go blank. Like somebody is throwing tantrums and you apprehend them. At a certain point of time, I have nothing to say. So my Chanchal, my tantrum throwing spouse is quiet. So when my mind is quiet, that's my chance. I grab it. I stop the second paragraph and I start the third paragraph. And you know what is the third paragraph? I simply write the same sentences that I wrote in the first paragraph. Krishna, I love you. I just repeat it as it is. But there's a big difference. The second time I'm writing this, it carries my voice. Because the mind is quiet. Are you getting what I'm saying? And somebody reads my both sentences, you would think you have just repeated what written above. But I know it's not the repetition, it's something profoundly different. Because the second time I wrote it, it was free from the mind's rant. It's like sometimes, I don't know if it happens here, in our temple in Chowpatty, Kirtan sometimes is so loud in Guru Puja, somebody is talking to me, I can't listen, so I have to go outside the temple hall. Similarly, when we are praying to Krishna, sometimes the mind is so loud, I have to go to another space to hear my voice to Krishna. So that space is journaling. So this is called Prayer Awareness Journal, which is one of the 7 or 8 types of journaling I do, where I write my prayer. If I'm connected to Krishna, I continue my prayer. I continue for 10 minutes writing a prayer. But if I'm totally lost, I stop my prayer, I write awareness, I just practice awareness, and then again come back to prayer when the mind stops. And even if the mind doesn't stop, after 5 minutes of simply writing down what the mind is saying, you will feel empowered. You will be like, wow, I have a mind next to me. And you will realize you are not your mind. And that's a big victory, Prabhus. See, this watch and I are different, right? We say, I am not the body. My body is different from me. Similarly, we are not the mind. Just visualize mind as somebody separate from you. And he is talking a lot. And I'm simply obeying him. But awareness journal helps us separate ourselves from our mind. And that's a big deal. So this is one of the journals. There are many other types of journals. One is gratitude journal, where I write down what has happened in the last 24 hours for which I am grateful and why am I grateful. Why is very important, because that helps us add emotion there. I call it fresh gratitude. Fresh means what has happened in the last 24 hours. Because gratitude, for the same people every day gets boring. Like I remember starting a gratitude journal, thanking my Guru Maharaj, thanking my grandparents and thanking my parents. And next day was like, but then I started practicing fresh gratitude. What has happened in the last 24 hours? So then I'm always on the alert mode, looking out for good things. I'm trying to catch the good things. Catch them, what is that? Peter Drucker, the famous American management guru, he said, catch them doing right. It's a management principle, he says. Generally we catch people doing wrong. So similarly, when I started fresh gratitude, I was only looking for good things. Because that has to come in my gratitude journal. So that's one gratitude journal, prayer journal. Then there is a blessing journal. This is the most wonderful journal, where you write a name. Let's say, Okay, Samradhini. I just give an example. Samradhini. I write a name, Samradhini. Now she doesn't know. I've written her name in my journal. I write a name, and then I write one sentence or two sentences. Krishna, please help her, or whatever. Let's say she's going through some difficulty. Please help her in her this difficulty, or just one sentence for another person. You write a prayer for 3 or 4 devotees, and you send out an energy of being a well-wisher, and it's amazing. That person doesn't know you're praying for them or you've prayed for them, but you feel a connection. So this is a very wonderful way of journaling, because generally we are full of ourselves, but writing for someone else also is a beautiful experience. And then there is scriptural journal, which is you hear a class and then you come back and write your own realizations on it. So like that. So there are different ways you could journal every day. Is that okay, Mataji? Minimum 10 minutes, minimum. Sometimes 2 hours. Anywhere between. Because sometimes you enter a flow state, like you don't want to stop then. It's like. What I do once in a few weeks, I take all those papers, I keep them in front of me, and I open my computer. Because after I finish my journal, it's handwritten. It's handwritten. So after I write, I just go through it again, and if I find anything striking, I underline it. So I have this bunch of papers, and then once in a few weeks, I sit down with all those papers, and I open my computer, I have a folder, and anything striking, I keep writing them. And as I'm writing, I get more ideas. So like this, whatever I've completed, then I dispose of those papers. So I don't carry a lot of papers with me. I keep transferring the essence to the computer, because you have to write a lot of stuff to get something. For me, I'm not writing to get something. I'm just writing to express myself. There are many people who write books because they want to share with the world what they have. But I write because I don't know what I know. When I write to discover, and I'm amazed at the discovery. So all the books I've written are not for sharing with the world. It's like, it's something I've discovered. It's mine, So for me, writing is a means to discovery. For some people, writing is to share. So I'm amazed at some of the things that come up. Some of the best seminars I've done, they were revealed to me, or it's a big word, reveal, but they kind of came out when I was journaling. So journaling has been a great discovery for me. It's like, on the most practical level, journaling will help you slow down your mind. Like to read one page, it takes me 3 minutes. But to write down that page takes me 15 minutes. Writing is definitely slowing down the mind. When you're driving your car, when you drive full speed at 100 miles, you can't see the things clearly on the roadside. But when the car is slow, you can see it's a mango tree with so many branches, so many birds, unripe fruits, ripe fruits. Similarly, our lives are very fast. We don't know what's happening inside. But when we journal, we are slowing down. It's like the car slowing down. You can see your desires. You can see your deep down drive. You can see the weeds. You can see the weeds. And layers get peeled off. And then you come face to face with who you are. And then you become peaceful. That's the best part. That's the best part. You're like, oh, this is who I am. You become comfortable in your skin. That's the best part, Generally, we think if you know your anarthas, you get depressed. But journaling helps you become peaceful, knowing who you are. So it's like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but... No. There's one Prabhu here. There's one Prabhu here. That's Prabhu, that yellow shirt, Prabhu. Here, Prabhu. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Whoever, yeah. We all have a why. We just need to find out. So, one way is, except you are a child, just follow somebody else's why. And just follow. But if you say, no, I can't follow. Like one boy was telling me, I'm chanting japa because I can't think for myself and my parents are telling me, so I'm chanting. But when I'm 19, I'm going to chant because I want to chant and not because my parents are telling me to chant. So he knows he's a child and he's accepted it and he's just chanting 2 rounds or whatever, 4 rounds because his parents are saying. So if you don't have a why, just follow somebody's why and be peaceful. But if you're not happy doing that, then you have no choice but to discover your why. And journaling is a great way to start. And service is another way. When we serve, when we go beyond ourselves, like you have a beautiful community here. Whenever we are part of a community and we serve beyond ourselves, we discover our why. Because service is a great way to discover why. So these are the 2 things I would suggest. And especially journaling helps because it peels off layers. And you realize, oh, this is not my issue, there's something deeper. Then there is something, it comes out. Like once I was doing a seminar, the Stephen Covey, the famous management guru, is spoken about communication skills in his 7 habits. So I was teaching that, reflect back and rephrase the content and reflect the feeling, to your partner. So this one person heard and he found it very interesting. So the whole idea is don't justify, don't fight back, just listen and understand first. So he came back the next week and he said something very interesting which is in connection with our discovery of why. He said he came back from work and his wife started shouting at him. She said, why do you always come late from work? And he said, I wanted to give it back to her because we had already agreed that I will work late hours because of financial crunch we are facing. So she should have known that we have agreed that I'll work for late hours. And I was just honoring my part of the agreement. And I just wanted to give it back to her, but I controlled myself because you said, just listen to her. Just be present. So I kept rephrasing, kept listening. And after that, we realized that was not the main issue. The main issue she had was that I'm not helping in the kitchen. But then I got angry again because we had already agreed that I won't help in the kitchen. Because my job was to manage the house outside the kitchen and she would manage the kitchen. Again, she was forgetting her part of the agreement. So I was angry. I wanted to give it back to her, but I controlled myself. I kept reflecting back, rephrasing. And then after 20 minutes, the real thing came up. And the real thing was that we would go to India every 18 months earlier. But now because of the financial challenges, we have not been able to go to India for the last 4 years. And she's missing her parents very much. And that pain came out as anger for not helping in the kitchen. And that was also not the real issue. That came out as the anger for coming late from office. And he said when the real thing was revealed, we simply shared silence, we felt connected, and we felt loved. The layers got peeled off. So as he was saying this, I realized this is exactly what happens in our journaling or in our chanting or in our relationship with Krishna. If you keep practicing the process, regardless of how you're feeling, if you're simply attentive in your practices, you will realize that, oh, there are some deeper issues. You keep peeling off those layers. And then you come face to face, who do you really are? So, either you discover your why through honest introspection and journaling. If no, then purchase somebody else's why. Srila Prabhupada has a why, just be part of that. And enjoy. Don't think too much. But if you're getting disturbed, then pause. Is that okay? Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. I have a YouTube channel called Vraja Bihari Das. And I also have a website called yogaformodernage.com, which has more than 2000 articles. yogaformodernage.com and YouTube channel called Braj Bihari Das. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
We have one last copy of this other book that he has. It's called Mind Your Mind. Hare Krishna, everyone. So we have two books here. We have one copy of this other book that he has, which is called Mind Your Mind. But I believe this is a copy of somebody who owns this book, but
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, maybe. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Again, together, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Jaya Radha. Nope, that's it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Rama Ram Hare Hare Radha Madan Mohan Jai Shri Radhe Radha Madan Mohan Jai Shri Radhe Radha Madan Mohan Jai Shri Radhe Jai Sita Sitaram, Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. Jai Jai Sitaram, Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. Nitai Gaur Haribo, Nitai Gaur Haribo, Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Haribo, 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 Haribo. Haribo, 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 Haribo. Haribo, 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 Haribo. Haribo, 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 Haribo. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada.